Sorry. I'll start all over again. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Standing Committee of August 18th, 2025. Mayor Hoover sends his regrets for tonight's meeting. I call this meeting to order at 7:01. Has everybody had a chance to review the agenda? Any changes? Additions? Administration?
No additions or changes.
Can I have a motion to accept the agenda? Councillor Swab.
I'll move to accept the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Thank you. All in favor? It's carried unanimously. I'll do the land acknowledgement. Treaty 6 land acknowledgement. Town of Blackfalds Council acknowledges that we are on Treaty 6 territory, a traditional meeting ground, gathering place, and traveling route for the Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Métis, Dene, Nakota Sioux, and we acknowledge that all the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuits whose footsteps have marked these lands for centuries. We have a delegation tonight for the concept of Canada Lacombe Solar Project. Brenda Law Simmons. Brenda, can I just get you to press there's a button. There you go. Nope, nope. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you. We've discussed
Come on now,
this
I'm
already
forgetting
with
to press
Daniel.
them tonight.
How is everybody tonight? So I have just prepared a letter that I'm just going to read. It's just to briefly explain kind of what the package is I provided tonight. It kind of will just help keep me on track because I know I'm kind of on the time. So, and I would say good evening to the mayor, but the mayor's not here. So good evening, town council members and other guests. My name is Brenda Law Simon, and I'm a member of Lacombe Concerned Citizens Group, which is a collective neighboring landowners who have come together to voice our concerns and oppose Reconcept's proposed solar farm project for legal land southwest 1740, 26 west of 4. My family and I are deeply saddened, concerned, upset, and honestly can't believe we've been brought to this point that we are fighting for our precious agriculture industry and our high quality producing grade 1 and grade 2 farmland. From large industrial solar projects like the one being proposed for legal land southwest 1740, 26 west of 4 in Lacombe County. My family and I come from long, deep-rooted family agriculture farming history within the Lacombe County, 125 years on my grandma Moore's side and 78 years on my grandpa Otto's side. For generations, my family has worked to preserve, cultivate some of the highest quality farmland in the province, land that has helped feed our communities, build the economy, and shape the identity of Lacombe County itself. Our family has been awarded the Lacombe County 100-Year Farm Family Award on my grandma Moore's side, and Lacombe County has also named a road after my grandpa Otto's family on Otto Road in Lacombe County. My family and I also, with many of our neighboring landowners, are pleading to the town of Blackfalds to help us preserve and protect our precious grade 1 and grade 2 farmland from overseas solar farm companies like the one being proposed by Reconcept for legal land southwest 1740, 26 west of 4. I am here today to provide the mayor and each council member with an information package which includes a letter outlining my concerns, a series of questions related to the project. This solar development is being proposed approximately 1,000 meters southeast of the city of Lacombe, which is a city of about 15,000 people, residents, and is being proposed on grade 2 farmland. We believe it is critical that the town of Blackfalds, the Lacombe County, and the city of Lacombe residents are fully informed of this project and its potential catastrophic effects to human and wildlife health and safety, environmental, and agriculture farmland. At this stage, Reconcept is still in the process of preparing its proposal for submission to the Alberta Utilities Commission, the AUC. As such, Lacombe Concerned Citizens Group, along with my family, and I are urging the town of Blackfalds to take this opportunity to review its land use bylaws, policies, regulations, boundary setbacks, and its emergency response evacuation plans, and to consider any necessary updates and changes well in advance to Reconcept's AUC application submission. We encourage you to reach out to the Farmers Advocate Office website, search the energy utilities, and read the renewable energy section. Darcy Allen from the Farmers Advocate Office is also a great resource for information, not only for farmers, but for municipalities as well. We are all left questioning how anyone can justify the risks and costs associated with Reconcept's proposed solar project at legal land location southeast 174026 west of 4. Particularly when compared to the limited potential production profits. This especially is concerning given that the project is unable to expand due to its proximity to the city of Lacombe, the Canadian Government Research Station, and the neighboring landowners, many who have already voiced strong concerns over the permanent loss of valuable agriculture land. How can Reconcept realistically cover the costs to landowners, legal fees, proposal fees, construction, and ongoing maintenance costs, insurance, staffing, and overhead for a project to supply electricity to approximately 5,600 homes if it produces as intended? Based on our understanding, even the existing solar farm near Joffrey has underperformed, particularly during the winter months. What makes this project any different, we wonder? This project, from our understanding, was built 2 years ago and has already been sold 3 times. There is no community commitment by these overseas companies and no legal responsibilities for them either. Furthermore, the proposed site lies in the heart of Hail and Tornado Alley. How often will insurance companies be willing to cover weather-related damages before denying future claims? And if this happens, what safeguards are in place to prevent this from becoming an orphaned solar farm for Lacombe County and neighboring landowners? As the actual landowner resides in Calgary, and this will never affect him. There is also a real risk to the environment of contamination. If a storm were to shatter the solar panels, how can Reconcept and Lacombe County guarantee that the fragments won't blow into neighboring corridor sections currently used for growing potatoes destined for Old Dutch Chip Company, which is part of the human food chain? Our quarter is actually that quarter. We are the neighboring quarter, and we do rent our land out to a potato farmer with an Old Dutch contract. We also feel that the town of Blackfalds and Lacombe County cost-benefit analytics also seems to be unbalanced. It's unclear how much tax revenue this project will generate and whether it will be enough to offset the town of Blackfalds and Lacombe County's financial operational responsibilities, such as emergency response plans, evacuation planning, specialized firefighting training and equipment, the broader human and wildlife health and safety risks to an estimated of 20,000 nearby residents throughout the county and the city of Lacombe. Environmental risks and responsibilities, just to list a few. Lastly, what amount of insurance companies will the neighboring landowners be required to carry to protect against potential fire damage, particularly in the event of a combine fire, baler fire, tractor fire, and so on? If the fire catches fire and the blaze spreads into the adjacent solar farm. We have consulted our insurance companies and been told that the maximum we could get is $5 million. However, $5 million would fall far short of covering the damages if we were to cause a solar farm fire. Such as an incident could financially devastate an individually landowner involved. We struggle to understand the risks, how these risks are being justified and by whom, when the potential gains appear minimum in comparison. Power for 5,600 homes in Blackfalds. The values simply just don't add up in our minds. In summary, my family and I, along with Lacombe Concerned Citizens Group, comprising of neighboring landowners, are urgently appealing to the town of Blackfalds to help us protect our grade 1 and grade 2 farmland, the health and safety of both humans and wildlife, and the surrounding environment from Reconcept's proposed solar farm project at the legal land location southwest 1740 26 west of 4. We hope the information shared with you today will serve as a catalyst for the further research, dialogue, and preparation, enabling the town of Blackfalds to make informed decisions and advocate effectively on behalf of its residents. This is a significant project with potential short-term and long-term catastrophic consequences, and it must be approached with careful consideration and due diligence. On behalf of the Lacombe Concerned Citizens Group, my family, and myself, Brenda Law Simon, we sincerely thank you for the opportunity to present this information and present this information and attend today's council meeting. We understand your schedules are busy, and we appreciate the time and attention into this matter. I leave you with the wise words of my late Grandpa Louis Otto. If you look after the land will look after you. Please help us protect our land. If you have any further questions or concerns, please feel free to contact myself, Brenda Law Simon. Respectfully, my family and myself, Brenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Council, do you have any questions, comments? Councillor Sands. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Brenda. It was nice meeting you.
Very nice meeting you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I see you've done your homework on this stuff, and I think some other councillors have some questions as well, but I'm not sure if this is something within that's going to be affecting our boundary or anything like that, but or if we've even heard much about this. I know I haven't heard much about this come forward.
Yeah.
But also congratulations on the award that your family had received.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, we are most proud of the 100-Year Farm family.
Yeah.
It doesn't come by easily by any means.
I bet.
There's been a lot of hard work put into that.
Yeah.
And then we've actually loved the fact that we have a road named after us as well.
Right.
My late uncle Stan, he just passed away last May, and that was his favorite thing on the face of the earth when he got a road named after him.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, this is such a touchy thing because given the state of things in the world right now, with food production and stuff like that, pricing and stuff like that, I don't want to give up valuable farmland when we need it. I'd rather eat in the dark than starve with the lights on.
There's benefits to everything, right? Like we understand that there has to be a give and take. Like we're not saying like absolutely no solar. We're just we think there's better avenues, better options, and we feel that we need to give this some time too.
Yeah.
We've put in some very large solar farms throughout the province of Alberta already. What they're finding, this is just kind of what we're hearing, because this is fairly new to us as well, that they're not producing because we live in winter here, right? We don't get the sun like a lot of places get. Like all of us are low on vitamin D because we just don't get enough sun. The other thing is what we're finding through the grapevine is that these solar companies are coming from overseas, mainly Germany. And there is no legal obligations for them. There's nothing put in place, and that's why they're coming to Alberta, because we have private electricity. Everywhere else is government. So they're all coming to Alberta because they can get in. And what they're finding is they're selling, we were even told by Reconcept in our first open house that they have zero intentions on keeping this project. They totally plan on selling it. Like, they have no community financial intake into this at all. They have no desire to. They just want to build it, sell it, and move on. And they told us that right in our meeting. We have it recorded, that is their intentions. So they actually, if it doesn't produce, they can just walk away and go back to Germany and do their thing. They can leave it abandoned. And it's not covered by the government like the abandoned oil fields. That is actually government legislation put in place that those are protected and that there's steps that has to be taken, where there is zero with these solar farms.
Right.
So if these get destroyed in hail, storm, don't produce, whatever, they can just walk away and that quarter section is sitting there with a bunch of chemicals sitting on it, leaching into the ground.
Yeah, and I like, you definitely, should we ever get approached about this, we definitely have some backup. You know, you've done a lot of homework.
Well, and this is what we were finding too, Jim, that like I explained to you earlier, my family is the adjacent quarter to the east, and this started last June, and we were notified in February. We're the adjacent quarter. We're well within that 800 meters. And we just found out in late February, just before their open house that they had. We almost missed their open house. And they were not forthcoming at that meeting with us either. Everything's pretty hush-hush. Luckily, we did have some council members there from Lacombe, City of Lacombe, and a couple from the county. But other than that, nobody seems to be even aware that this is in the works. So this was the whole point of the packages and me coming here tonight, was just to give you guys some information, let you know that this is in the works, and this is something that could be potentially coming down the pipes. I have also sat down with your deputy fire chief today. I have sat down with the county fire chief and the City of Lacombe fire chief as well, because the firefighting aspect of this goes out the window. I am an ex-firefighter, paramedic myself. You don't have the standard equipment, gear, anything to put this out, because it's live power at all times. The power doesn't get shut off because the solar panels are continually taking in the rays. So it's live power. Even if the switches are flipped, they're still absorbing power.
Yeah, right.
So from a firefighting aspect, from my point of view as a firefighter, you either have to fight it from the air with dropping dry chem on it, and it will be a continual battle because it's just going to keep burning.
Yeah.
And there's no way of putting it out. And the risk to your emergency response members is massive, massive. And it's a huge safety issue. And I've provided some pictures of just some solar fires, and you're going to be evacuating communities. And so we want you guys to be talking. We want you to talk to your fire departments. We want you guys to look into this and see what it's going to require, because it's not your typical firefighting, and there's going to be a lot more to it than let's just put a solar farm in and continue on, because they are talking of putting a BESS unit in, which is the battery storage unit, which is a big battery storage unit. And where they're proposing to put it is right in the lowest part of that quarter section that floods. Right now, there's actually no crop there because it's too wet. So water and electricity, they don't really go together. But
yeah.
so it just kind of shows kind of where Reconcept has been, that there's not a lot of homework done in this location. It backs right onto the research station, and like I said, 1,000 meters from the City of Lacombe.
Right. Okay, yeah, no, like I said, you've given us lots to look at and review, and for sure. And I like your grandpa saying, I
You know
believe in
what?
that.
He lived by it. He absolutely lived by it. And you know what? It's something that we take to heart very much because it has been true. It has come true every step of the way. So thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Councillor Swab?
I just want to thank you for bringing this to our attention. I think you gave us a lot of food for thought, and there's a lot of information that we can actually
I'm sorry.
No.
You do have some reading.
It's great though. Like, I mean, I don't know how this would actually work because I've driven past the solar panels at Joffrey and
Yeah.
the ones down by Medicine Hat,
Yeah.
but never to think what's going to happen if there was a fire, or now with the batteries going
Yeah.
down on like a lower land. Like,
Yeah.
I've had grandparents, both my sides of my family, they were farmers as well.
Yeah.
And I never heard of level 1 or level 2 grade before.
And you know what?
So-
Most of our land in Alberta is level 2.
Oh,
We
okay.
have I think it's maybe 1% that's 1. Yeah.
But I really appreciate that you've given this to us, and I know residents are probably going to be watching this and listening too, because this affects them if there's ever a fire
Well,
and
and
that's built. So
back to Jim's question here too, it is actually, this is why I'm here tonight too, because it is actually scheduled to power 5,600 homes here in Blackfalls, is what it's for.
that's interesting.
Yeah. And the fact that you guys don't know. And that's what we were finding too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just decided that we needed to be a little vocal and let people know that what's going on.
Well, thank you.
Well, thanks for
appreciate
having me.
this. Yep, thanks.
Councillor Appel?
Thank you. Thanks for coming tonight, Brenda. Thanks for bringing this forward, because like we said, we had not really heard of this before we got your first email here a few months ago. I will say, however, so I did have time to read through the electronic documents you provided us.
Yeah.
And I definitely was, I want to say, almost a little confused as I was reading
Okay.
it, because in there, like, so even in the letter that you read tonight, you're talking about the town of Blackfalds and Lacombe County's cost-benefit analysis being unbalanced, but we're not part of this project. Like, this is happening outside of our jurisdiction, and 5,600 homes is way more than we even have in Blackfalds. So I was a little confused when I was reading through some of it, because I didn't know where that information was coming from.
Good question. We're finding that too. Reconcept came up with the number of 5,600 homes in Blackfalls.
Okay.
So,
So do you know who they're, like, through the Utilities Commission, who they're planning on selling to? Would this be sold, like, directly to Fortis, or, because I think that would likely be more of, like, it'd be great if we could say, we would love to run our whole town on solar,
Yeah.
but we don't have,
Yeah.
we don't really get to make those decisions.
you know
as
what?
we're not a utility company.
You know
so,
what? I wish I could answer that.
okay.
But like I said, Reconcept has been very hush-hush to us as well as landowners. And their submission hasn't even been approved through the Alberta Utilities Commission yet.
or
so
by
they-
by the county, correct?
Because the county said there's nothing they can do until it's through the commission.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And that's kind of same with you guys. It's going to be same with the municipalities. Nothing can really get rolling until their submission into the AUC. So we just wanted to give you guys a little heads up prior to that, before it's a surprise all of a sudden. We've got this project on the down pipes here, and nobody seemed to know about it. So this was just us
Okay.
coming forward to give everybody some information and get everybody on the same page. We are still waiting for Reconcept to go to the AUC. They had a timeline at their open house that they were to have that done by July 1st. That date has come and gone, and we haven't heard anything from them. What we're thinking is, because Lacombe is such a historical community with a lot of historical buildings, it sounds like they're getting hung up a little bit with the historical side of it. So last research just online, they were putting applications into the historical side of things. So I have to wonder if they didn't get snagged up there a little bit as to where this is maybe falling off their timeline track. So,
Okay.
Did I answer all your questions?
I
And
Yeah.
as to how you guys are into it, It's definitely on your emergency response plans, for sure. You're getting the power out of it is what it sounds like from Reconcept, but your fire department will be on mutual aid if that goes up.
With the county. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We have
You'll
agreements
be
with
probably
that.
the third call out. So
Um,
I was on the Lacombe Fire Department for 7 years and with their ambulance service for a few years there as well. And so Lacombe is going to be, the city's going to be the first one. County's going to start calling out after that. So it will take in the city of Red Deer. It'll take in Joffrey if Joffrey's available, Alex, Blackfalds, Panoka. Yeah,
okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Councillor Dennis?
Thank you. I like your first name.
Thank you. It's a good name, isn't it?
I did a little bit of research through the Lacombe Solar Project newsletter, and it's saying that it would connect to the distribution line that would run to Blackfalds substation, and it's kind of through Fortis, which we were not aware of. Like, I didn't have an idea, a clue about it.
Yeah,
So just so it's out there,
yeah.
that it's something that's kind of behind the scenes, I guess.
Like I said, that's where we're
Yeah.
kind of finding ourselves too. We found that we were 20 feet behind the whole project going on here. And we were, like I said, within the 800 meters. We should have been notified first because we're a landowner right adjacent to this quarter, so.
And I definitely feel your concerns, for sure.
Thank you.
I think there's a lot of concerns that should be answered.
Thank you.
And thanks for your presentation.
I
It was
appreciate
great.
it. Thank
Thanks.
Brenda, thank you very much.
Thank
This
you.
was a huge, huge eye-opener in regards to even just dealing with solar panels. And having now acknowledged or brought forth that there is a huge site planned for within our jurisdiction,
yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Everybody here has answered or asked a lot of the questions I would have had.
okay.
You did so much research. Thank you
Thank you.
again. And it's something to keep our eyes open with, and thank you for bringing it forward to us.
Absolutely, and at any time you guys have any questions, please feel free. My business card is attached into your folders. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I plan to try to keep in touch with you guys kind of when we kind of get a little more information. I think the more people that are aware, you're able to make better decisions with the information when you have it. So like I said, hopefully down the road we'll maybe be in touch a little more, but for now this is all the information we've got. So hopefully it's something that you guys can start working on together and seeing how you feel about it.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful summer. Thank you. Thank you.
How do I turn it off? I'm trying to get that one off and I turned me off. Sorry. Request for direction, community engagement, budget survey, and open house planning.
Yes, good evening, Council. I'm here to present the Community Engagement Budget Survey and the Open House Plan as part of the budget process. The main goal of the citizen engagement is to gather citizen input to help the town address concerns, prioritize needs, and influence resource allocations within the budget. And this will be achieved through budget survey and an open house. The survey takes a proactive approach and is designed to get feedback on town service areas and the citizens' tolerance and preference regarding tax changes. The survey questions encourage a rating of service levels and tax strategies, followed by a comment box designed to streamline the response and add context to the specific concerns. There's a total of 9 questions on service areas that the town provides. The property tax section asks 5 specific questions to rate the acceptability of strategies to balance the budget by either reducing services, increasing user fees, postponing projects, and increasing property taxes. It further goes on to ask 4 more questions designed to gauge the willingness to support a tax increase for specific purposes: maintaining current services, enhancing services, funding new programs, and keeping pace with inflation. Also, 1 more comment box at for feedback on additional challenges that town budget should address. And this question is intended to encourage specific recommendations. Together with answers received from the tax section, this will help us understand citizen priorities and assist decisions and the needs, what's needed to balance a complex budget like this. Then we follow up with statistical questions on each respondent, and that summarizes all the survey. Again, this year we'll be using Survey Planet. It's an online platform and runs from August 25th to September 15th. It'll be promoted through social media, town website, and printed on the back of the utility bills. It will be incentives include a chance to win a $150 utility credit or an Abbey gift card, both with Blackfalds promotional gifts. Tablets will be available at the town facilities and at the expo for those that do not have internet access. As part of the budget open house, it will be at the budget open house will be part of the Community Information Expo on September 8th at the Community Hall, Community Center. Just like other years, Town Council booth will feature budget boards and encourage conversations and provide an opportunity for residents to complete the survey on site. Feedback from this process will directly assist Council in setting budget priorities. Results from the survey will be presented at the Council meeting on October 14th and incorporated into the Town of Blackfalds draft budget. The total cost of this survey and open house materials is expected to be less than $1,000. Do members of council have any questions regarding the survey?
Councillor Schwab?
I don't have any questions, but every year we keep tweaking it and it's getting better every year, and I really like how this one is laid out. And I think that it'll really help the residents be able to answer the questions more thoroughly and thoughtfully. And hopefully we'll get the best number this year, because every year it keeps growing. And hopefully more people will come out to that information fair. Is there any chance that we could have this at the street dance on Thursday? Is it open?
We haven't actually got the survey
25th?
ready to go.
Yeah, darn. Because I bet you there would have been a lot of people that we could do on Thursday.
Well, certainly.
But even if we had like some kind of information at one of the tables that the survey's coming out, maybe.
Well, if any member of council ever has a suggestion like that, that's in this time of year, we always try to do the survey so that it coincides with the Community Information Expo.
Yeah.
And if there's other opportunities, you could with a little more advance notice, we could certainly have it available for you to take to these events.
But that's okay. At least if we're out there talking to people, we can educate them on it.
Yeah.
Have them watch for next week. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Councillor Dennis?
Okay.
I looked first.
All right. I was wondering on the wording where it says, what is the single biggest challenge or area for improvement, to omit single? Because someone might have 2 things under protective services and maybe only 1 thing under environmental or nothing under environmental, where that way they can get what their concerns are about.
I could certainly take that word out. I think the intent was to reword it just to try to get some comments that were a little more focused. That was the main purpose, but I can take out single and just try to get more specific and more context around the comments.
for user fees, maybe just break down examples of it. Someone might be in favor of a user fee at the landfill, and some might be in favor of it at the sandy dump for RVs, or it might be the other way around.
So are you, add another question in there?
I think there was,
So for, right now, it says increased user fees, and then it's got an example, and in the example, it's got like Abbey Center or landfill. Are you suggesting?
yeah, if they had the choice to pick, because there might be some that might be against a fee at the landfill, and good for the other way, or vice versa. Just so that there's a little bit more option, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think maybe I can talk to our communications department, and they can help me maybe add another little box in there to say your preference or something like that.
Thank you.
Councillor Appel?
Thank you. Through the chair. So I just had one spelling error I noticed under facility services. It says Eagle Building Center
Oh,
instead of Eagle Builder Center. So thought I'd let you know. That one's on page 11. I don't know how that corresponds to what you have in your hands, but it was just in the write-up for facility services in the blue text there. And then I was curious, is the Abbey gift card also $150?
no.
Okay.
It was, every year, it's always been less than the main price of the utility credit.
Okay.
I think it'll be 75.
So
Last
whatever
year, we give 50, and
Okay.
so,
I was just gonna suggest that we should state how much the gift card is worth, because like when I read through it, it was like whole $150 utility bill, or who knows what kind of gift card. So that's just,
Yeah.
as I was reading through it, I'm like, it could be clarified. Whatever we decide, or whatever your team decides it's going to be, right? I'm not saying it has to be the $150, but we should probably say what
yeah, it was
is,
kind of
'cause-
meant as a second prize, so it didn't make it as big. It's never been
Yeah.
as big as the utility credit, but
It's totally fine, but I just think we
Just
should let
say-
people know what the quantity is, and if it is $50, it might encourage more people to take the $150 utility bill. Because the way it's worded, it's like, well, is it also $150? Like, it's not really clear.
I can put the amounts in there for sure. And to be clear, there's one prize, and it's random draw.
Yeah.
And then, so the first one gets the utility credit, and the second, they don't get a choice.
Oh, okay,
Just so that you
gotcha.
made it sound
Okay.
like you thought there was a choice, but no. And then the second prize is the Abbey Pass, and
Is the Abbey gift card,
yeah.
okay. And then I was also curious, so for the main questions, so the first portion of questions where we discuss all the facilities, so like protective services, environmental, etc. Is it possible to have a checkbox that says NA for like FCSS, or which I guess would kind of have to go for all of them, but just if someone doesn't utilize those services or isn't aware of them, that way they're not forced to pick one of the other 5 and kind of skew those results.
Sure. Yeah, I can add that.
Thank you.
Councillor Sands?
Thank you. I love the way this is laid out, easily understood, and that. I was just wondering, considering the timeline of this, where everybody is busy and, things are firing up for the school year and all that, I'm just wondering, do we think that maybe we could add a little bit, a few days to this, other than ending it on September 15th, and maybe add a week, just for that purpose?
Yeah, we could certainly look at
Would-
that if you
Would
think
that
that would.
cause any issues with your team, or?
I don't think it would cause issues, because communications could sort of, once they put it up on that survey plan, they just say when they sort of dictate the terms of it. I
Right,
don't think it will cause problems.
okay.
So we can extend it a week. What we'd probably do is then also delay when the report back to council comes, because that's also we
Okay.
need time to go through the results and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, if council wishes, I can add a week on that.
I'd like to see that. I don't know about anyone else.
Yep.
As long as it doesn't affect your team's timelines
Yeah.
to get budget information, then I would be okay with it, but if it's gonna affect your timelines, then.
It won't, because it's an election year, so our draft budget won't be released until, no, yeah, you'll have it for Christmas reading.
Okay, so, yeah, then if that's the case, then I would be fine by extending it for a week.
Thank you.
All right, I can
Councillor
certainly,
Dennis?
Just on another one, to enhance specific existing services, increased frequency of snow removal, expanded community programs, and more policing presence. Strongly support, like, I might really strongly support that we need more snow removal, but I might strongly oppose that we need more policing. Like that one there, I don't think gives me an answer if I was reading the survey results. Cause it's too veritable,
yeah,
the groups of it. Like you could be answering it one way and we could take it the other way saying, oh, I think they want more snow removal and it's actually they want more policing. Just my thought.
yeah. I guess when I expanded these questions, I was mostly giving those in parentheses as a example. If we want to get more specific to each type of service, I think we'd be looking at quite a long survey, but maybe I can try to do, like, add another box and say, what's your priority, or, I don't, but, yeah.
There's somewhere they
Does-
can type in what they were.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, that would be better.
Yeah, that might be better, yes.
Thank you.
A
I
priority
believe
box.
with the surveys in the past, in grouping a number of things together is where you don't get your response, because somebody will look at it going, well, only one group thing affects me, I'm not going to bother with that. That's why what Councillor Dennis has said in regards to being, I know it puts it a little bit longer, I don't know if they can move the checkbox to, if you have it listed and you just throw a V in there for very, or something like that, if they can do something like that, that they can pull the data with. Won't make the survey longer, but it sort of prioritizes your specific, or where your interest lies in regards to a number of things grouped together. Because like, a senior might not do anything with the FCSS, but somebody with a child might,
Yeah,
right? So you want as many people as possible to be able to do it. And I believe that's pretty much what we've all said tonight, is to have a way to be able to prioritize or voice the opinion on what relates to the person taking the survey. So I don't know if there's an easy way that you can do that. So like if you have, even if you have like, we have policing, and then you have boxes next to it, and then they just click on the boxes, or, but it gives a list of what's in that group. Councillor Pell?
But I think too, thanks, Edna, I think too, though, with this survey is we're trying to keep it to something that's gonna take 25, maybe half an hour to fill out. We're not trying to make it so onerous that maybe people don't have time to fill it out if we asked on every, but I do like the fact that this survey and the one last year have had a lot more question, like just blank paragraph boxes where residents can explain what their answer to some of the questions are. So I think in that respect, we've come a long way, but if we had to list, like, remember when we did our service level inventory? How many pages that was? Like, we can't ask about every single one of the services we offer. It would take too long. No one would ever do
No,
it.
but I mean, like if they're grouping
Well, not
like
no one, very few.
policing, fire, stuff like that. If you have your policing, your fire, your playgrounds, and you just have a checkbox that you click in. It's going to be no different than you typing something out. Still, I love the way that this is laid out. It's just giving more of an opportunity that we have more residents commenting on what they seem as a prioritized in their opinion, instead of them looking at it going, well, one thing affects me and the rest I'm not going to worry about. Right? Okay. Councillor Swap?
I kind of think, though, if you open up a survey and you see 5 pages, and then you see 15 pages if you have to click on a checkbox, stay-at-home moms, people with busy schedules are not going to want to do a 15-page survey, even if they see that the pages don't look so bad. A 5-page survey is more enticing because you can get over and done with quickly. A 15-page survey might not be more enticing for people to want to answer those questions. So I think the shorter it is, the quicker they'll fill it out, and hopefully we'll get the answers that we need.
If I could add as well, I think I get what you're saying. I think it would be really hard to quantify any prioritizing questions, but maybe what I could do is in the comment box, instead of just asking the single big or the biggest challenge, is also add what's most important to you, or
That would work.
put some
too.
kind of your priorities in this service. Feel free to comment on your priorities in the service, because otherwise, 15 people are going to rate things a little differently, and it's just going to be really hard to quantify what's the most important. And bottom line is, when you're talking protective services, we don't even provide them the amount that's applicable to fire services versus policing services. We just say all of protective services is 11% of the town budget. So we're trying to keep it a little more high level, I think. But if I add that to the comment box, would that help?
I think it would, yes.
Okay, that might be the best solution rather
Councillor
than changing
Pell?
the survey.
Yeah, my only concern with that would be that, say no one chooses policing as a priority, well, then is it expected that we're going to reduce the money that we put into policing? Like, there's certain, especially with protective services, like that's really our duty. That's the service we have to provide as a community. So that might be easier to do when we're talking about like different types of programming, if people want to prioritize senior programming over youth programming or something like that. But I'd be very weary about prioritizing one of the protective services over the other. Like that, yeah, that kind of
No, and I was
stresses me out.
just using those as samples, right?
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it would be quite easy to add something to the comment box. Like maybe share what your priorities are.
I think that would be a great idea. But you've done a wonderful job on this.
Yeah, thank you.
Like all the counselors have said in regards to, it's come a long ways.
Well, once we when it got to the tax section and decided it's probably better to just, find out and ask a more direct question, it also educates citizens a lot more too, because there's a lot of logical people out there that think, oh, well, if I get this, then what do I give up, right? So there is a lot of choice to be made. Yeah. And just to add another point too, is like, this really gives us a good gauge, and the amount that it would impact a budget change, wouldn't be just a survey that would impact a budget change. It would certainly be more conversation around a service level or something that way, but it certainly wouldn't say, anything drastic. But it will also give us good feedback on what their citizens are thinking.
So we have a recommendation on the table. Councillor Swab.
I'll move that the Standing Committee of Council receive the Community Engagement Budget Survey and Open House Planning as information with amendments.
All in favor? Carried unanimously. 4.2, request for direction, proposed disc golf course, postponed disc golf course.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor and Council. So the last time we talked about this was at the June 16th Standing Committee meeting, where the Optimist Club provided a proposed layout for the disc golf course in Pine Crescent Park and McKay Ranch Park. After that meeting, we had an open house on July 9th, where we had a few residents show up. And the residents in attendance from those two areas were opposed to having a disc golf course in the park space in the respective areas due to several concerns such as additional noise, proximity to trails, increased foot traffic, potential property damage, and safety issues. And in the case of Pine Crescent Park, another amenity in a park that's already got a lot of amenities in it. So with that, we are looking for Standing Committee's direction on how we want to move forward with the Optimist Club proposed disc golf layout.
Councillor Sands? Nope, hang on, sorry. Councillor Dennis, I forgot to look right.
All right. I think the people that came to the open house had a lot of valid points. And I definitely would make the motion of the recommendation, but I'll let Jim talk first.
Councillor Sands?
Oh, thank you. No, I just wanted to say that I thank you for all the work you did with the open house and helping out with that and putting that together. I did take a walk through that after the open house. I took a walk through there just so I could picture it, so I could feel what the residents were talking about. And I 100% agree with them that, yeah, they were concerned for their homes and the safety, as well as valuations of their properties. And when they say, well, maybe we'll just move, those are words that we never want to hear. And so I'm glad that the town is working in this direction and working with the Optimist Club to find a suitable location for this, because I am in favor of the game for sure, and it's going to be just a touchy thing to try to find proper location for it. So thank you for that.
Councillor Appel?
Thank you. Through the chair to the director, the one of the items that was brought up at the open house was, and now I don't recall if it was in Pine Crescent Park or in McKay Park, so I don't remember which playground it was, but one of the playgrounds had a bell as part of
Yes.
the playground equipment. Has that been removed?
I believe it has been removed. I know
Okay.
that direction was given. I believe they've done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Councillor Swab?
Okay, so I feel really bad for the Optimist Club because they put all this hard work into fundraising for this to go out. And now we're sitting on it longer. And I know it's been sitting for 2 or 3 years. Now, if for some reason they had to give the money back for something that they got the money for, I feel like in the future as a town, we should maybe plan what we're going to do before we have an organization fundraise for something that's going to sit and sit and sit. So I don't know. I would hate to have other groups feel disheartened by something like this and not want to help our community in the future. So I just hope that we've learned something from this so that in the future we're not sitting on something for years to come.
I would like to say that, yes, thank you. The open house was an eye-opener on a lot of things. And I agree that looking at things, but to ensure that we have accommodations for where things are going. With that said, we have a recommendation.
Councillor Dennis.
I will move that the Standing Committee of Council recommend that administration continue working with the Optimist Club of Blackfalds until a suitable location for the disc golf course can be found. And I feel bad for the Optimist Club too, but we have to make sure that everyone's happy, both sides of the park.
All in favor? It's carried unanimously.
You get to listen to me for the next 4 items.
It doesn't say the U up there.
I'm representing Preston this evening for this first one. Preston was unable to join us. So I guess you want to introduce this item, sorry.
Requested direction of Blackfalds Transit Service on Demand contract extension.
Thank you. So the Bolt 2.0 has been operating here in the community since June 2023, or longer than that, sorry. The approval for the contract extension for the Bolt was approved in June 27th, 2023. The contract is now coming up for renewal, and what we would like council to consider is another year extension to that contract. And why we are wanting to do that is it provides us with a bit of an opportunity to explore some options with the city of Lacombe. Recently, I guess it wasn't recently, prior, just January, I did meet with the CAO of the city of Lacombe, and he did note that it keeps coming up over and over again within their strategic priorities, transit. And although I know that they had stepped back, he does believe that because keeps coming up again, that there is a strong potential for us to work together on something. Knowing that we do have the election coming up, I think it would be timely for us to wait the year and then give that opportunity for council to be able to talk about that within your strategic plan as well. The service is doing very well and it's operating well. And there isn't a lot of providers within Alberta that can offer what Prairie Bus can offer to us. So we don't think that by extending it for another year would be out of the usual. And we do believe that what they've offered here is a good rate. So if council is okay with that, we would be looking for you to give approval for this to come forward to a regular meeting for that contract extension. Any questions?
Councillor Appel?
Thank you. Through the chair to CAO Isaac. So I just was curious. It seems over the last year, I haven't noticed it as much in the recent months, but over the last year, it seems that there's been quite a bit of time that the contractor vehicle has been used as opposed to our town vehicle.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be great if we could see what that percentage looks like. So the percentage of time that our vehicle is being used versus theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Just for our information, as there is a pretty good price difference. And then if, depending on where those results come in, what can we do to ensure that our vehicle is as operational as possible
Yeah.
moving forward, because it's going to get to a certain point where we might need to upgrade that vehicle, and that might even be cheaper than having ours in the shop all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
So that being said, I am definitely in favor of extending this contract for a year. I agree. I do see the bus driving around a lot more often than I see it sitting now. And that's very exciting because the town of Blackfalds took a really big leap in continuing to offer Bolt after our community partners pulled out of our agreement. And it's nice to see that it's working. We took a risk, and people are enjoying it, and that's or not enjoying it, but being able to actually utilize the service, and that's, I think, a really big feather in our cap, and it's good to hear that our fellow communities are interested in.
Councillor Swab.
Well, since I sat on the Bolt committee many years ago, I definitely want to see this service continue to grow. That was the whole point of the committee, was to continue to grow it, and more people are enjoying it. So I was sad when Lacombe pulled away, but maybe with the new council and more thought to it, it'll grow again, and hopefully we can partner with Lacombe with some kind of service where they won't back out next time. But I really think this has benefited our residents, and I really hope to see it go even further. And I do agree that keeping it up for another year would be great. And I do think we do have to probably start looking for another van, because this one's probably going to be on its last leg soon, or we might need to expand the service, because as we start growing and the schools keep opening, kids might even want to use it when on those cold days. So I love that we have the boat service, and I really hope it continues.
Any other questions, comments? We do have a recommendation on the administration recommendation on the table. Councillor Sands.
Yeah, I'm 100% in favor of this also, and I will move that the Standing Committee of Council recommend to Council to support the administrative recommendation to extend the current contract with Prairie Bus Lines Limited for the provision of the transit operations and maintenance base service span 1, operating on weekdays for a total of 3,389 service hours for a maximum yearly cost of $228,527.20 for the remainder of 2025 and until August 31st, 2026.
All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Request for direction, revised Treaty 6 land acknowledgement.
Thank you. So we are excited to, after a start of, took about a year to be able to pull together a group of elders to work with us on the revised Treaty 6 land acknowledgement. We've been able to come up with a draft Treaty 6 land acknowledgement. And we are putting this forward for Council's consideration to take a look at this acknowledgement in advance of it coming forward to the regular meeting, which is planned to be coming forward, I believe, the second meeting in September. And we just wanted Council here to be able to take a look at the acknowledgement and to provide feedback on your thoughts of that Treaty 6 land acknowledgement that has been drafted. We do have two of the members here tonight, Councillor Pell and Councillor Dennis also sat on that committee. So if there are any questions on the process or comments, or if either of you would like to add to what I've got to say here, but it's just essentially we wanted to share it with you to get your feedback at this stage.
Councillor Sands.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that I love it. I love it, yeah. I think it covers everything and more. So, yeah, I'd be proud to read that, for sure.
Councillor Pell.
Thank you. If no one else has any questions, I'm prepared to move. Everyone look good? All right. I move Standing Committee of Council recommend to Council that administration bring forward the revised Treaty 6 land acknowledgement to the September 9th, 2025 regular meeting of Council for consideration.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's, I really enjoyed
A lot of information.
I'm excited to see what the next steps are gonna, like, this is really the first step, so.
So we have a question. All in favor? It's carried unanimously, and I would like to say thank you to the council members and the rest of the committee that put this together. It did come out to be a wonderful new phrase. Request for direction, Regional Collaboration Committee.
Thank you. About a year ago, council passed a resolution to refer the matter of a tri-party Alberta Community Partnership grant to Lacombe, Blackfalds and Lacombe County Intermunicipal Development Plan and Intermunicipal Collaborative Framework Committee for discussion. On October 15th, representatives from the City of Lacombe, Lacombe County, and the Town of Blackfalds Intermunicipal Development Plan and ICF Committee met to discuss the matter of a tri-party Alberta Community Partnership grant. At the same meeting, discussion was held around the development of a regional collaboration committee similar to the one between the City of Red Deer and Red Deer County. A subsequent motion was unanimously passed to explore the development of a regional collaboration committee. So as per the above resolution that the Town of Blackfalds did carry to work with the towns from both the City of Lacombe and Lacombe County, we have been working on a draft terms of reference, and we are, I do have that attached here. It has, or actually this week, it will be going to the County of Lacombe as well for their input and consideration as well. So this is just a first look at it here for council to see if you guys have any feedback for me to go back to those CAOs before we bring it forward to the regular meeting. So some of the key elements of the terms of reference are membership will be comprised of 2 council members from each municipality with the appointment of an alternate. The CAO from each municipality will serve on the committee in an advisory non-voting capacity. The committee may include, but are not limited to, strategic growth, infrastructure, recreation, culture, infrastructure, economic development, emerging services, and regional planning. The committee will meet twice per year with agendas prepared jointly by the 3 CAOs. Committee discussions will take the form of recommendations to the respective councils, with the individual councils retaining full decision-making authority. Committee decisions will be made by consensus. If consensus cannot be reached, a consensus -1 approach will apply, meaning that a decision can be made with 1 appointed council member dissenting, but a second dissenter would block the decision. Committee discussions are considered confidential until otherwise agreed, and the approved terms of reference will be reviewed after 1 year, with subsequent reviews taking place at regular intervals. The other item that I did forget to put in here is that what I've recommended is that a mini strategic planning, I guess not, a facilitated session, that workshop, yes, thank you, where the committee can say, okay, this is what we would like to look at over this term of council that we have. And then that way it helps to kind of set a bit of direction, because I think otherwise it's so broad that without maybe having some type of facilitated discussion would kind of make it maybe a little bit tough to really kind of set what priorities. So I did recommend that to both the CAOs, and they agreed. They thought that that was a good suggestion. So that is also part of the terms of reference that we're proposing here. Any questions?
Councillor Pell?
Thank you. Not a question, just a comment. I like that this now has a real name and something to
Yes.
refer it to, so we're not getting confused between
Yes.
collaboration, we're like ICF or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
so
I like that too.
I like it.
North Lyman River
NBRTC?
Yeah.
I can go faster. Anyways, that was my comment, and I love the idea of having a facilitated workshop, because I agree it could, still a lot of people in that meeting.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Counselor Sands?
I don't have any questions or anything. I like it. Actually, I do have one, sorry. I'm just wondering, would it make sense also maybe to keep in mind our IDP and ICF members as well, sitting when this committee is formed? Just to maybe, I guess maybe just to keep council educated on what is going on and whatnot, to have those members joining as well.
At this meeting?
Yeah,
That,
Yeah,
that's something that we could suggest. I know
Right.
then it gets bigger then, right? So now all
Yes.
of a sudden, you're gonna be looking at four at least from each municipality, right? So then that would be, it gets to be plus
Yes.
staff, right? So it
Yes.
does get to be fairly large. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be the only thing, but I think that, having some regular, I guess, feedback coming out of those meetings, sharing perhaps maybe the minutes or something
Right.
like that might be something that could be shared with the council. I could suggest that.
yeah, for sure. Okay.
Counselor Appel?
Thanks. No, sorry, Kim, that was gonna be exactly my suggestion. Would it be possible, I understand these meetings would be confidential, but
Yeah.
after the meeting to have a confidential meeting with council of like a meeting highlights,
Yes.
even just to see what was discussed, because I know after some of our ICF IDP meetings, we had been doing that, but not
Yeah.
all of them.
Right.
Which I think would be great to have after those meetings too, because
Yeah.
there is so many, either so many things that can be discussed, or one or two things that are discussed in depth.
Right. Yeah.
So it'd be good to have those, and I think those touch points would make it so that we can have different members
Yeah.
sitting on those committees, and then everyone still has an idea of what's going on.
Right. And the proposal is that there'd be two meetings so it's not going to be difficult to be able to arrange for after that, at the next regular meeting, that we have a closed session to maybe just, provide a update to council on those things. Yeah, but I will pass that along to the CAOs so that they can, when they're meeting with their councils, that question has come up.
Okay, any other questions, comments? We do have a recommendation. Counselor Sands?
I will move that the Standing Committee of Council directs the Draft Regional Collaboration Committee terms of reference to the August 26, 2025 regular meeting of council for consideration.
All in favor? It's carried unanimously. Request for direction, municipality election sign bylaw.
Thank you. So the current sign bylaw that was adopted in March of 2023 had provisions in the bylaw for federal and provincial elections. The one of the new bills that was passed, I believe Bill 50, or Bill 54, so basically now regulates that a municipality cannot say where provincial municipal signs can be placed. So we've changed the bylaw to remove both provincial and federal, because we're thinking if we're not going to be regulating provincial signs, we probably shouldn't be trying to regulate federal signs either. So the bylaw has, the new bylaw that you see there, the draft bylaw, basically is strictly for municipal election, municipal elections. And we are looking for council to pass a motion that we are able to bring this forward to a regular meeting for consideration.
Questions, comments? Counselor Dennis?
So in our election package, there's a map with different places.
Yeah.
And the list here is a few minor changes.
Oh, really? Because they said that there should be no change.
Like, there's one that, on that map, it says signage allowed in multiplex arena site between Access and North Lane. And shows a picture, or an arrow, and then on here it's saying on Grigg Street, or Grigg Way.
Okay, I'll follow up with, yeah, because I did check with Jolene, and she said there was no change. So unless something changed in that package that you got, like since this was adopted in 2023. So I'll follow up. But yeah, she said that there should be no change to.
Yeah, I think there was three, 3.1.2, 3.1.6, and 3.1.9, I think I noticed.
3.1.2,
That's the one that I just read.
okay,
And the other one, it's quite minor, but
okay, we'll take a
like
look.
once the signs are up, I'm sure there'll be someone that won't like where some signs are.
Okay, yeah, we'll take a
Kind of,
look
sort of.
at the.
They always
what's in the
do.
package.
Yeah, like
Okay.
they're not huge. But
Okay, thanks, we'll
it
look
could
at
be
that.
look like they're huge. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Counselor Swab?
I'm ready to move the administrative recommendation if nobody else has any. I move that the Standing Committee of Council recommend that administration bring forward the revised municipal election sign bylaw to a regular meeting of council for consideration.
All in favor?
And that's carried unanimously. It's the end of our business. We have no confidential. And I say we adjourn at 8:18.